Hey guys, I'm the Dude Who Talks and welcome to another video. So, I've been thinking a lot lately about album openers and how it's their job to reel you in. So it's got me thinking about doing a video about my favourite album openers. So I've been digging into my old record collection, CD collection, and coming up with some of my favourite album openers. Now the thing is, it's not going to be genre specific, as there will be a varied taste of genres, but you get the gist. So I've handpicked 8 of them, so I hope you enjoy. Now, to kick off this video is an album from my youth. Now, I really wasn't into these guys when I first heard them, as I thought they were too heavy. Yes, I'm a bit of a pussy, but I don't know what it was, but there was something that said, get this fucking album. So, I did. And I'm talking about Sixth. The trees are dead and dried out, wait for something wild. And the song I'm obviously talking about is Scent of the Obscene. That is a cracking opener of an album. Honestly, the build up at the start and when it kicks off, it is heavy as fuck. Honestly. My best memory of this song is coming back from a late shift at Pizza Hut and coming back home and then putting that song on full blast and ordering some takeaway. Oh, fucking amazing memories. So, for this one, now this is gonna seem like a really obvious choice, but if I'm talking about album openers, I cannot not include this one. I'm obviously referring to Battery by Metallica on the album Master of Puppets. Now, my opinion of Metallica is... but I cannot fault Master of Puppets, I cannot fault Ride the Lightning. Two amazing albums. And so what it was for Master of Puppets is Battery. The opener packs such a punch, and it still packs that punch no matter how many times you listen to it. Now, I have a good memory of like this when I went to Sonisphere when the Big Four was on, and I put Battery on like my iPhone really loud, and the guy who was like pitching his tent just went, yeah. Honestly, it is a good album opener, and Master of Puppets is a really good album. I'm unashamed to say it, obviously. So, this is another one from my youth. Well, my 16th birthday to be precise. I remember my dad taking me into town, because that's what 16-year-old kids do, just hang around town. And I remember him saying to me, I bet with that money you're going to buy Deftones' new album. And he was right. And the album opener I'm going to be talking about is Hexagram. Now, I remember going back home and listening to it, and I remember Hexagram putting like hairs on my chest, which I think I had like 3, but still. It's like with chinos, screams, and just the whole song, it just kicked off like actually one of my favourite albums by Deftones. Obviously it's behind Around the Fur and White Pony, but still, that self-titled album is incredible, and Hexagram is a really good opener. Now I want to talk about a much more recent one, and it's Flies by Red Flag on the album Only Ghosts. What it is like when the drums start and then the riffs kick in and you hear Brian Giles just scream down like a dog. Honestly, it kicks off a really good album. While it may not be as good as Whales and Leeches, Only Ghosts is a really good album. And what's great about it is normally Red Fang more slower mid-paced. Flies is quite fast-paced, which is good for them. Even though I like their slow songs, I like the slow sludgy stuff like Dawn Rising, that's like one of my favourite songs. I do like the fast opener of Flies. For this entry, this was a band that more or less got me out of the dreaded emo phase. Ugh, yeah, I know. So while I was listening to like hardcore bands and stuff like Black Flag, Minor Threat, and stuff like Most Precious Blood, It was Down that got me out of it and more or less listening to metal. And obviously I'm referring to the album Nola and the opening song Temptation's Wings. So I actually bought Nola from Music Zone. Rest in peace. And honestly, who doesn't fucking love this song? It's incredible. Phil Anselmo's voice is on point, the solo towards the end, and just the whole riffs, and oh man, it is a fucking incredible song. And Nola is literally one of my favourite albums of all time. In a previous video, I kind of slagged this band off a little bit and the album they released this year. Now, to kind of make up for it, I decided to include a song on this one, which I, without any shame, I really like. Now, I'm talking about Machine Head and the song Clenching the Fists of Dissent from the album The Blackening. Now, it was a time, MySpace time, where everyone was going on about how sick Enter Shikari was and the new Funeral for a Friend album come out. Now, I did kind of like Funeral for a Friend, and I have seen him live, but I was kind of getting sick of the whole emo thing, and it was just getting boring. And then I think on Blabbermouth they mentioned about the new album The Blackening, so I decided to download it off LimeWire. Oh, those were the days. And because I know also I was a cheapskate, and it took me a while to listen to it, and then because I had my iPod on one late night, and I thought, wow, this is incredible. It's 10 minutes long, but it keeps the fury going of that song. It's angry, it's full of like fury, like there's a bit where it's like Rob Flynn's just like chanting, "Clench your fists and fight, fight, fight." And honestly, it got me properly into Machine Head. And obviously I've heard some of their previous albums, but still, The Blackening, man. Yeah. So, I mentioned at the start of the video that this wasn't going to be genre specific. So, with this in mind, I'm going to talk about Joy Division and the album Unknown Pleasures and the opening song Disorder. Now, it's when the bass line kicks in and then the guitar riff kicks in and Ian Curtis just sings, "I've been waiting for a guy to come and take me by the hand." For me, Disorder is such a powerful song, emotionally and musically. Honestly, sometimes I do well up listening to it. It's chilling, it's emotional, it's fucking beautiful. And Unknown Pleasures, obviously, as like with the other albums I've mentioned, are incredible. So, the final song on this video and the inspiration for said video. Now, this song is literally life for me. Well, the album is anyway. And the album is F sharp, A sharp, Infinity by Godspeed You Black Emperor. And I'm referring to the song The Dead Flag Blues. Now, I could rant to you ages and it would just not make sense. I could just say, oh my god, this is fucking amazing, you should listen to it, oh it's so apocalyptic and everything, but that wouldn't do it justice. You should listen to this song yourself, and honestly, it's incredible. And my mind was blown when the vinyl version was quite different from the CD version. Now I'm going to be controversial here and say the CD version is better than the vinyl version, but you know, fight me. So there you have it. Those are my favourite album openers. Honestly, I could talk for ages about them, and I could do another video on more album openers. But at the moment, I'm more interested in what you guys think. Please leave your comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and maybe subscribe. Well, that's it. I've been the Dude Who Talks, and all I've got left to say is cheers. Keep it loud.